Dang it again, it's kind of weird.
For all offers, call 415-367-0747 or see website for details. Offer expires 8/31/2022. CSLB number 978-152. Have weekend plans? Take us along for the ride. Day, night, and weekend. We keep you up to date on the news, traffic, and weather.
When you see beauty around you, it changes your mood, it changes your emotions, makes you feel better.
It's one more reason why we're the Bay Area's #1 news station.
So the more we can do to beautify the area, I think the more we'll do to uplift people and to empower them and make them feel valued.
All news, all the time, right here on KCBS.
We're all on this planet together, so join Odyssey and find your one thing. Summer items like garden hoses, pool toys, and lawn chairs are not recyclable and best donated to charity. Join Odyssey, and together each of us doing one thing makes a greener tomorrow. What's your one thing?
Frank Munich is back. He's got our latest look at traffic.
Well, we're looking at only one hiccup, and that would be in Oakland, northbound 880 past Oak Street. We have some debris in the two right lanes. That's in the process of being moved to the shoulder. It was a couple of rugs and a couple of pieces of plywood, which of course can always be splintered by passing cars. Again, that debris being moved out of the two right lanes and onto the shoulder, northbound 880 past Oak Street in Oakland. Of course, outside lands, the music festival is done for the year at Golden Gate Park. And we're looking at some patches of slow traffic on nearby city streets, particularly on Balboa in the Richmond district, on Irving Street between the outer Sunset and the inner Sunset, and of course on the main car conduit away from Golden Gate Park and towards the southbound Central Freeway. Oak Street jammed from the Sonic Avenue all the way down to Octavia, which of course is your on-ramp to southbound 101, although we're not seeing that much in the way of slowing yet on southbound 101 itself, and none on eastbound 80 or the lower deck of the Bay Bridge. Your next update at 11:28 on the traffic leader KCBS.
Mostly cloudy tomorrow at the coast. It should clear up along the bay, though, and be sunny all day inland. Highs upper 60s to low 70s at the coast, 70s near the bay, mid-80s inland. For the rest of the week, partly to mostly cloudy at the coast and near the bay, mostly sunny inland. Highs for the most part in the upper 60s at the coast, 70s along the bay, 80s inland through Tuesday, then approaching 90 through the remainder of the week and on into the weekend. Right now in San Francisco, it's 61 degrees. In Cotati, it's 57 degrees. San Mateo, 63. In Cupertino and Concord, it's 64 degrees. Traffic and weather together on the 8s on All News 106.9 and AM 740 KCBS. Anxiety about heading back to school is normal for most kids. Traditionally, it impacts girls more than boys, but this year could be equally tough for both. Here's KCBS's Dan Mitchinson.
Not only do younger kids have to learn the layout of their new school or classroom, but there's also still the threat of COVID, masking or not. Recent school shootings that, thanks to social media, most children are aware of, but don't always know how to process.
Sometimes kids are afraid to tell their parents. One of the kids tell me, I don't want to tell my mom that. All she's got to do is worry. She has enough to worry about.
Lee Richardson is founder and clinical director of the Brain Performance Center. He tells KCBS that's why now's the time to keep an eye out for any changes in your child's behavior or mannerisms.
You seek help when you see behavioral changes in your child. If you see their sleep pattern has changed, if you see their eating pattern has changed, if you see that there's something isolating.
And then let them know that being anxious about going back to school is normal. It doesn't necessarily mean something's wrong. After all, we've all been there. Dan Mitchinson, KCBS.
Starting August 7th, the brightest star in the night sky has played a key role in the calendars of many cultures. In ancient Egypt, for example, its first appearance in the dawn sky marked the beginning of a new year and heralded the annual flooding of the Nile. And in Greece and Rome, that dawn showing ushered in the dog days, the most sweltering time of year. It's a phrase we still use today. When the phrase was coined, the star Sirius first climbed into view around the end of June, at the start of summer and a long run of hot, humid days. Sirius Sirius is the brightest star of the constellation Canis Major, the big dog, so it's known as the dog star. People associated the star with the climate, so they called that time of year the dog days. Thanks to an effect known as precession, though, the stars gradually shift position relative to the sun. So now, Sirius doesn't peek into view in the dawn sky until August. From the southern states of the U.S., it's appearing right about now. It won't emerge from the sun's glare from more northerly latitudes for another week or so. For those who can see it, it's in the east-southeast, almost directly below the line of stars that marks Orion's belt. That shift has changed the way we think of the dog days. In early times, the phrase referred to a specific time of year, generally from early July to about mid-August. Today, though, it refers simply to the hottest period of the year, the dog days of summer. Our web address is starting.org. For the University of Texas at Austin McDonald Observatory, I'm Billy Henry.
KCBS News Time is 11:24.
Inflation is jolting the dating game.
Daters say that they're feeling the pain in their romantic relationships. Daters are experiencing sticker shock with the cost of dining out, alcohol, and recreational activities on the rise.
Paulina Cachero wrote the story for Bloomberg News.
On dating site OkCupid, 34% of 70,000 users reported that inflation was impacting their love life.
As costs bloom, that is changing the way singles are dating.
Instead of whining and dining someone at a fancy restaurant, people are going to museums, they're taking scenic walks, and even, making home-cooked meals.
On the dating app Hinge, almost 41% said they were more concerned with the cost of dates now versus a year ago.
So both love and money are top of mind for singles in the U.S., and it's changing the dating game entirely.
And as costs rise, so are tensions over who should pay the bill on a first date. Charlie Phillips, Bloomberg Business for KCBS.
Shouldn't you breathe clean air all day, every day? Help protect yourself with IQAir's Health Pro Plus Air Purifier, the #1 large room air purification choice for viruses. These Swiss-made air purifiers were chosen by the Hong Kong Hospital Authority not only for SARS-CoV-1, but also SARS-CoV-2, the virus that causes COVID-19. Using patented industry-leading hyper-HEPA filtration, the Health Pro Plus captures particles down to 0.003 microns, the smallest that exists. Now and for a limited time only, use the promo code KCBS5 and save 5% on your Autumn or Health Pro Plus air purifier. Visit IQAir.com/US or call 888-409-6202. That's IQAir.com/US or call 888-409-6202. Help protect your loved ones and get the healthy indoor air that you deserve today.
Hi, John Henry with the Henry Union Square Hotel in downtown San Francisco. Feeling blue lately and considering a trip to see the Blue Danube? Cute song, but take a canoe, the airfare will make you blue in the face. Thinking of Elvis and Blue Hawaii and want to visit the islands? Check out the cost for a room, rental car, plane ticket. You may have to swim over. Plus, have you ever eaten poi? I have 2 words for you, Play-Doh. Come to the city as I have a blue experience you'll love. It's the popular Blue Stem Brasserie, great food, unique cocktails, and if you miss Hawaii, get their Honolulu hangover dessert. It'll cure the blues. Another way to cure the blues is to book the KCBS package at the Handlery. You'll get a deluxe room with parking, 10% off a city tour with Big Bus, 10% off a bay cruise with Red and White Fleet, 20% off at Cafe Mason, steps from the hotel. Call now, 800-995-HUSH. That's 800-995-HUSH, and leave the blues at home.
Beth Miller Rowe is the Bay Area's reverse mortgage specialist with over 35 years experience. Beth offers a variety of reverse mortgage programs such as FHA insured home equity conversion mortgage and even jumbo reverse mortgages. Whether you own your home outright or have a loan against it, a reverse mortgage may provide financial freedom to better enjoy your retirement years. Reverse mortgages have changed so much much in the last 10 years. Now is the time to call Beth at the Reverse Mortgage Group at 925-969-0380. Beth is located here in the Bay Area, offering free consultations in a friendly, professional, no-pressure atmosphere. Call Beth at 925-969-0380 or go to callbeth.net. Borrower must pay property taxes, insurance, and HOA dues and live in and maintain the home. NMLS 294-774-1850-831612. Licensed under the Department of Business Oversight under CRMLA. Equal Housing Opportunity.
Frank Munich is back. He's got our latest look at the roads.
Well, we're not looking at much in the way of trouble. We do have a new problem being reported between Cordelia and Benicia, southbound 680 at Gold Hill Road. That is a large object blocking the far right lane. We believe it's a car bumper, which is certainly not going to be good news if he hit it. Again, southbound 680 at Gold Hill Road in the far right lane. Next update, 11:38 on the traffic leader KCBS.
Partly to mostly cloudy overnight with lows mid-50s to low 60s. Clouds will linger at the coast tomorrow, but should clear out along the bay. It'll be sunny all day inland. Highs tomorrow, 60s to low 70s at the coast, 70s along the bay, mid-80s inland. Traffic and weather together on the 8s on All News 106.9 and AM 740 KCBS.
An emergency resulting in power loss can happen at any time. If you rely on power for basic life functions, the time is now to prepare. Visit disabilitydisasteraccess.org or call 211 for assistance preparing.
I'm a talking gopher, here to encourage you to buy insurance. Because you should always listen to the advice of spokes animals. After all, who knows more about
This
protecting
spokes animal has been interrupted by AAA Insurance for a special offer. Buy a new AAA auto and or home insurance policy to enjoy up to $376 in savings and get a $100 gift card with purchase. With savings like that, AAA doesn't need spokes animals. AAA, outsmart life. The gift card offer is valid on qualifying policies in California only. Visit AAA.com/promo for terms.
News that matters to you. Around the Bay, around the world, around the clock. All News 106.9 and AM 740 KCBS.
It's Sunday, August 7th, 2022, coming up on KCBS.
I'm Alice Wirtz. On the 10th anniversary of an East Bay fire, kayaktivists and others rally for the environment and community.
And James Franco to play Fidel Castro. Really? That's what some people are saying. Really? I'm Peter Finch. It's 11:31.
CBS News brief. First, there was the killing of Al-Qaeda's leader in Afghanistan, now getting out of COVID isolation, just as the Senate passed a huge part of his agenda.
Biden has finally had a terrific week. He's achieved a lot, both in foreign policy and domestic policy, and presidents rarely have weeks like this.
Political analyst Larry Sabato of UVA. Monday, the president visits flood-stricken eastern Kentucky. Local, state, and federal law enforcement now are looking for the possible killer or killers of 4 Muslim men around Albuquerque. Deputy Police Chief Cecily Parker.
We have photos of a Volkswagen Jetta or Passat. Possible damage to the vehicle. A dark-colored 4-door sedan.
In southwest Atlanta at a park.
There was some type of baseball, softball game ongoing. There was an argument that ensued, and then next thing you know, there was a exchange of gunfire.
Deputy Police Chief Charles Hampson says 6 people were shot, 1 has died, a child is in critical condition. CBS News Brief, I'm Tom Foti.
KCBS News Time, 11:32. Well, it didn't take long for people to notice the choice to cast James Franco as Fidel Castro in the movie Alina of Cuba, as the movie quickly received flack over how Hollywood handles representation of Latino roles. For more on this, KCBS's Dan Mitchinson spoke to Clayton Davis, Senior Awards Editor for Variety. He has a piece out on this now.
Castro's own daughter is defending Franco, playing the dictator. Does that lend any kind of weight to the argument that this is okay, that he's the right choice?
No, because this is something that we've seen time and time again. We see this casting choices that are perplexing to a lot of us happen, but as long as someone from the family gives a thumbs up, then no one can, is allowed to be mad about it anymore. We saw it last year when Javier Bardem portrayed Desi Arnaz. the Cuban actor Desi Arnaz in the Being the Ricardos movie, and he's a Spaniard, not Cuban. A lot of people took issue with that, but because Desi and Lucy's daughter approved it, people thought that we couldn't be upset about it. But we see this time and time again, this constant Latino erasure all in Hollywood.
But when you act, and you're taking from these different cultures and sexualities and emotions and quirks and tics and all that stuff, I mean, if you start taking away all these layers of a character, then you begin to limit some of the great actors who can interpret a character. And if you're a Hollywood guy that's producing this movie, aren't you thinking, well, I need somebody who is a name, really, to draw in the crowd?
Sure, that would be fine if we had equality across the board. If we didn't have the Annenberg Institute come out with their findings last year that analyzed 13 years of movies, 1,300 movies, the top grossing films of the last 13 years, found that in those, 6 roles went to Afro-Latinos. 6. And in that time, they analyzed 52,000 characters of the 1,300 top grossing films of the last 13 years, and less than 5% of Latinos had speaking parts. So, yes, if Latinos were getting roles left and right, then sure, anyone can jump in and play it, but we don't have that happening. So Latinos are not in media. I know this week, The Gordita Chronicles was canceled on HBO. Batgirl, which was going to star an Afro-Latina, Leslie Grace, got canceled over at Warner Brothers HBO Max, and now James Franco is Fidel Castro.
But that is not necessarily because of her, because if you're talking about appropriation, I mean, the character was a white character and has always been played, with the exception of the Batman series, where it was Eartha Kitt in the 1960s. So should people be upset about that? Because it doesn't seem like it's targeting her specifically, it's targeting the movie as a whole.
But no, it's just the easy discarding of Latino characters, Latino roles that when they are given, then they're easily disposable. David Zaslav, who's the new Warner Brothers Discovery head honcho, said we're not going to put out a movie unless we believe in it. There was way more truth to that than probably he realized, because this is what happens constantly in this business. And listen, we can have an honest conversation about, an actor is an actor and can play any role, but until I feel like not just me, but Latinos that are 500 million people, we're just asking for representation of what is actually here in America. If we're 20% of the population, then 20% of the movies should have Latino characters and Latino actors. That's not the case. We're less than 5%. So seeing someone like James Franco, who, by the way, sexual allegations aside from that, showing once again, cancel culture ain't real, but that aside, he's given his comeback vehicle to play Fidel Castro. And I think that is deeply offensive and also interesting, because the director of the movie is Javier Bardem's Javier Bardem's cousin. So for someone who's Hispanic, we want better for all of us, but Latinos and Hispanics, we have not been on the same page, and we're never going to see true moving forward until we all unite together, and we can't even do that at the moment.
That's Clayton Davis, Senior Awards Editor for Variety. KCBS News Time, 11:37. We'll check your Sunday night drive in just 60 seconds.
Discover the poetry of aging at Sonnet Hill Senior Living. Poetry doesn't have boundaries, and life seldom follows a script. At Sonnet Hill, we specialize in celebrating unique expressions of lives well lived. While we all have basic needs, at Sonnet Hill, we've designed our spaces, crafted our programs, and trained our staff to meet your individual personal needs. Celebrate our 1-year anniversary and get $500 off the monthly rent for the first 3 months. Call us today or visit us at sonnethill.com. Who's feeling especially happy about their rides right now? Ask anyone who owns a Honda.
In times like this, you need good gas mileage. This car, it has it.
Gas mileage is amazing.
The gas mileage is what's so great.
America's most fuel-efficient full-line automaker is Honda. New Hondas are arriving daily. See your NorCal Honda dealer today.
Fuel efficiency based on 2021 EPA estimate of model year 2020 large full-line automaker, fleet-wide fuel economy.
Ask anyone who owns a Honda or visit NorCalHondaDealers.com.
Frank Munich is back. He's got our latest look at traffic. And we're looking at a problem that's just now popped up, or at least in the last couple of minutes has popped up in the Santa Cruz Mountains.